Y254. Imagine.
Very good evening to you, and thank you so much for sticking to Y254. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Power Talk Show. I am your host, Cheryl Blessing, and today I want us to talk about a very interesting conversation. We've talked about everything in regards to relationships, marriage, how we can get in and out of them. But we've never really covered what you do when you're out of a relationship. What happens when you're in between? When you're single, do you discover yourself? Do you try to get into another relationship? Are you fixated on your past relationship? What exactly happens? How do you navigate singlehood? What are you supposed to do? What shouldn't you do? I want to get into this conversation, and I'm joined by two amazing, amazing guests. I have Shai Muisq, who is an artist. Karibu sana, Shai. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm very happy to be here when we're talking about this.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on here.
Thank you.
And next to Shai, we have Tom Musembi, who is a media personality, and you're a digital content creator?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist, to be specific.
Nice.
Radio, TV, you name it.
I love that. Yeah. Welcome.
Asante.
And I want to engage with you as well as we get into this conversation. So do that by going to our platforms at Y254. Across all social media platforms, go there and let me know. I've asked you a question. The question is, can you be single and happy? Can these two things coexist? Or do you have to be in a relationship for you to be happy? I want to know, is it possible for you to be single and to be extremely happy and feel fulfilled? Go on our platforms at Y254 and let me know. Tell us any experience. Maybe it's your friend's experience, maybe it's your past experience, maybe it's your current experience. Let us know. And remember, we're also streaming live on X, so be sure to share the link with anyone who wants to tune into this conversation, but maybe ako kwa njia, hajafika nyumbani, or they don't know how to find our channel. Go to our platform at X, and it's at Y254, and you'll find everything. The live stream link is there, and the question that we've asked you is there. So this is an interesting question. I feel like I've never really talked about being single because we just assume this, it's a normal thing. But there's a lot that goes on, especially when you're just newly single. And maybe it's your first time, you've just come out of your first relationship and you don't know what's supposed to happen because you're so used to having this person, you're so used to spending your time together and you have shared hobbies. But what happens when it's just you? So this is an interesting question. And first, I want to find out from my guests. I don't know if this is going to be an invasive question or if you guys are going to be honest and let me know if you're single. Shai, are you single? Have you recently been single? Or do you have experience?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like how Tom is like, yeah, tell us.
So I am single. And I say this because I believe it's either like we're making this serious or we're not. And for me, at the age I am, it's like I'm looking for something like some real commitment. So until I get that, I claim to be single.
I like that.
I can't deal with potential. I can't deal with waiting and like, no. It's like it
has to be the question of, will you be my girlfriend?
Like, are we doing this for real or not?
Yeah. I like that. Mm-hmm. So it's either you're single or you're in a relationship. There's no in between there.
No.
Tom, we have a lot of terms that have come up. Ati niko na situationship, niko na kuna kamtu, niko na a buddy.
There's someone somewhere.
There's someone somewhere.
Sneaky link.
A sneaky link.
Hizi terms zote, use them when you're single.
Yeah.
Ukiona mtu amekuja kwa maisha yako anakuambia, let's not put titles to this.
Yeah.
Let's take it a day at a time. Tuangalie venye market inatupeleka. Unajua tunaweza haribu tukiweka titles. That is someone who's not serious. They just want to have fun nini. But yeah.
So these things happen, but it's indicative of someone who might not be serious about you.
It's not about might. If I want you, I want you. I'll just tell you, I want you. But if I don't want you, inakuja tu na, let's take things slow. But I want the privileges of dating.
Yeah.
Whatever comes with dating, I want it. I don't want you to be with other people. I don't want you seeing other people, but I don't want to put titles to that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm owning you while I'm free.
But I don't want to.
So hautakuja ukasirike later useme nilipotezea masaa, sijui one thing led to another, you fell in love. I was like, you know what, we're taking things slow. So wewe ndo huku nipata.
I like that. No, hapo sasa nika tumeanza kuingia into the flesh of it, which I'll circle back into, because kuna hizo statements yenye mtu akikwambia unajua tu yo wataniendange tu. But before we get there, let's talk about you recently from a relationship. Let's even say it's a relationship that was all consuming. Unaona ile yenye unapenda umse, najua umse ndio it's done, like after this hakuna mwingine, and then things don't work out.
Oh God. How
do we deal with that? Especially we talk about, I think that there's this theory of stages of separation and the levels, which maybe uko in denial, alafu una accept, and then you start healing. Let's talk about the first few days when you've just broken up, you know it can't work out. Like si ati kuna maswali ati maybe what if you can't. What do you do, Shai?
I feel like that's dependent on like the timeline. So my first relationship, because I was so fresh to this idea of like being in a romance with someone, like being very engaged, hey, the breakup was like death. It almost was like, it was really bad. I was questioning myself. I'm just like, what is going on? I just didn't know what to do. So it was really bad. But now my next relationship, I didn't want it to go bad. Nobody gets in thinking, you know what, this will end. When it ended, I had a better experience of how to navigate like loss, you know, because I'm like, well, I guess you gain some, you lose some. And it just, the pain just gets less and less. But then you realize, oh wait, maybe I still am not getting it there. Like I'm not really finding what's for me. I need to take my time. So that's where I'm at. Because at first it's usually like, should I replace them? But then I'm realizing, wait, maybe there's something about me that I keep doing the same thing and ending up in the same cycle. So it's very dependent on where you are, like what stage of life you are, because that's how you respond to the breakup.
I love
that's
that.
What I'd say. Yeah.
And as you said, I think for everyone, it probably gets easier through every situation. Like your first breakup, you're dying. Like
that first one.
Yo. Like
wait. I have a question. Funny how long ama the first one ikuangi primary school hapo ama
sasa tuambie sasa. Sasa
depending on age.
Exactly. Ni vizuri bring that up because kuna ile relationship ya maybe primary. Ile yenye you have a crush on someone and then you talk to them and then all of a sudden sijua umeshikana mkono na mtu mwingine umejam. They cheat by holding someone. How dare they? Actually, they've sat together sharing a basi.
Kwanza wali exchange books.
Wame exchange books. Alafu kuna ile ya high school enye you're a bit more mature, but bado uko na immaturity. Ile kwanza I think ya high school it's more intense.
I think it's even worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, I think you start crying at that point. Don't realize. Yeah. Because mmendikiana paka barua, you guys have hung out. At some point you even met their parents. I don't know if you guys were serious hivyo mkiwa high school.
Amekupatia perfume yake ndo unamnusia.
Alafu the introduction to your friends wa high school, shule inajua wewe wa ile shule una date wa shule. Oh my God.
So let's talk about that. Because let's talk about the people who wakiwa primary. Maybe hao ndo wako more invested, particularly for the men. Enlighten us. Because unajua wanaume, I think most of you mlikuwa heartbroken primo.
Inaanzanga kidogo kiwa mdogo. So unaambia samaki mkunje angali mdogo. So sisi tulikunjwa. Most men. Hata cameraman pale ameangalia tu akafeel. Tulikunjwa.
Mmeflipiwa.
100%.
So tuambie, what was that experience like, especially for you? Let's talk about the girl you first crashed on and maybe you can convince. Alafu maybe mkasema ni demu yangu.
So
after your breakup.
So niko class 3.
What do you...
So niko class 3.
Hapa to judge.
No judge.
Yeah.
About
safe space.
Ni kama mlikuwa mmeenda kusoma tu peke yake.
Ni safe space.
Safe space. So I'm in class 3. Nimeenda nimefanyia msichana assignment and everything is okay. And she starts relying on me. Who am I not to fall in love? I fall in love. Turns out ni hiyo season. Next season kuna mwingine. Because at the end of the day, kama wewe si number 1 kwa class, apparently
it's over.
You know it's over because you guys are attracted to the best.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Kai, lazima sansema ukweli, I was not.
So
it hits you different. Exactly.
Ulikuwa number 1 ukafika number 5 ama?
I had a score nimefikia number 1. Point is, I was just giving signs of being number 1, but unfortunately I was not. So after hapo msichana akaanza kupenda hao wengine. So ile conversations, communication, ikaanza kupungua nini. I was heartbroken. Kidogo class 6, the same thing happens.
I'm so sorry. I'm so serious. I'm so sorry.
Class 3 hata sikumbuki nini nilikuwa nafanya.
How
do you remember this?
Unakumbuka zile songs za Take Your Umbrella, It's Raining. That's all I can remember from class 3.
You guys never had crushes na crushes?
Yeah, but it was because maybe amekuja hapo tumecheza.
Ndio hawa sisi sasa. Ndio sisi hawa.
Wewe kumbe ulikuwa invested sasa.
I'm an investor.
So we are
feelings and emotions. Class 6, same thing happens. But sasa unapata nimeanza kurealize I should like have many. Unipata? Like options ikuwe mingi. Usiwe kama imoja kwa the same, mai 10 kwa the same nini.
Yeah.
That's what I learned. So nikajua if it's that way niko na class 8, 7 hivyo sasa. In case kuharibike kuna plan B. Going to high school.
Okay.
I'm trying. Let's go.
Yeah, important lessons to be learned.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you move to the market even after high school because in campus it was a different thing.
Yeah.
Campus I learned mtu anaweza seviwa kama dad kidhani ni baba yake. You know where I'm going with this?
Nini girl child wamewatesa.
Exactly. You see the point here?
Nikibadasha nikimsikiza niko like do we need to go back to kindergarten?
Like maybe go back.
Because all along I figured men have been doing us dirty kidogo.
No.
Kumbe sisi ndo tuliplant.
It's from learning and then you remember tukiwa wadogo tulikuwa tunaambiwa have money and you'll have women. See, like that was the mantra when you were a kid. Walimu walikuwa wanawaambia achana na wasichana because they find you fooling around with girls in school. They're telling you achana hawa. Wewe soma, kuwa na pesa, watakuja. So you're being given an option of many. Plenty will come. You'll choose from that. Sasa wewe unaona hapa na mwalimu wa Kenya anasema let me continue with one person at a time. Moyo inavunja ukienda hapo pia hivyo. And then just develop a thick skin and being single just becomes easier by the day. Yeah.
It's actually very interesting that you've given us that perspective because there are things that I took so lightly when I was a kid. Ati mtu amekuja ananiambia hapo ananikatia sijui nini amenunua novels kumbe sijui amekopa pesa ndio akuje and I was like
heartbreaker.
Cool, yeah. It's something we can
we
learn.
Started with that tukujua.
We didn't know, and I think most women can share that experience. We didn't really know because back then we weren't even that serious.
100%.
Yeah, they already told us like be careful.
Exactly.
Boys only want this. You know, they only want specific things from you.
When high school, mostly we don't want many things. Just want that comfort. Sijui ulisomea wapi at this point. What's your reaction? Hey, like wait a minute. Just love. Just want to hang out with someone. Tumeenda kwa mall for the first time. I did that because of love.
Mimi niliambiwa usiwaangalie.
Why?
You will get pregnant. Your life is over.
Yeah, with the African moms.
So we're just like
mimi unajua watu walikuwa wanaambiwa watakuitia OCS. Like I know the head of police. Why are you calling? No, umepiga hapo kuuliza homework.
And I'm in high school just calling someone just hi, how's the holiday taking you? You see now, taking that and coming into now our life right now, we are hardcore because we just ushazoea kuwa single.
You're immersed into it, yeah.
So the moment umeingia kuwa single, especially for guys, it's like you're like, now I can fool around because no one is asking me questions. No one's questioning anything. Ulikuwa wapi? Ulikuwa na nani? Huyo ni nani? I'm going out on a million dates. No one is even questioning anything. And then ndo kugonga na hiyo ya, you know, I've realized let's not take things serious kidogo. Let's not put titles in this. So I think ilitoka huko for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so interesting. I like that you've brought that up because I think it's enlightened even I. And we can pick something up from that because even when we raise our kids, when we talk to our younger siblings, we can actually educate them about how to be more sensitive. And now let's basi okay, maybe because I don't know the experience. The class 3 experience was probably your first love. That was probably.
I even know her name. Yani.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that serious.
Uko tu hapo ulikuwa unaandika kwa notebook, Mr. Nani.
Kumbuka zile mawazo zilikuwa zinamea kwa fence. Been there.
Every day.
Wow.
Like hapo, you know.
That's God. Crazy. God. So let me toss it over to Shai.
Yeah.
Your first love, I bet, was when you were a bit more mature.
Yeah.
Because I always tend to believe there's that one person. Your first boyfriend might not even be your first love.
No.
No,
that's why we us were confused.
Exactly.
Because like our high school crushes, I came to realize later when I fell in love. I'm like, wait, I actually
love is
never
different
loved
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because hata mimi nilikuwa na boyfriend for years. this man was in love with me, and I can tell that for free now, but I wasn't in love with him. I loved him, I cared for him, but it wasn't una feel like you can just get
too, you're just like, what is going on?
Unafikiria tu mse. So it's heartbreaking, I'm sorry, but tulisema hii ni safe space. So
has to be.
Hey, it's not safe anymore. At this point, I'm like, you guys,
kila mtu
good people.
kila mtu aelewane, si ndio? Tebu shai tuambie, because based on that, I can tell you, because my friends, we've had these conversations. The first person you dated might not necessarily be the first person you were in love with. It might be someone who cared for you. Yeah. They loved you, they pursued you, and you said yes because maybe kuna pressure, external pressure. We'll circle back to that. Don't worry, we'll circle back to it.
He's like, wait, what?
I know, it's so mind blown. So tell us about your first love, that first relationship, and how it was, how the experience was that after you're probably single before, you got into this and you probably knew this is the person for me. Yeah. How was that for you?
It was so beautiful. Like the first few months, okay, I shouldn't even say months. The whole relationship, just our chemistry was really good. Yeah. Just feel like we're really mature at that time to really get to understand each other. So any conversation is a fight. It's like, no. So I just got tired of all that bickering because I'm like, we're not getting to any solution. You know what I mean? And like with previous relationships, with crushes, you know, like high school times, it's not saying that I didn't have feelings for people. I cared for some people, like, but when I got to actually fall in love is when I realized, wait, there's a different category. Yeah, there's a different level. Like, I would have done anything for this person. Like, anything. I even remember there's a time I was missing for like a whole week. Yeah. Just hanging with my boyfriend.
Because you just want to be around him.
You forget yourself. I forgot everything. Like, my life just revolved around this person.
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Kidogo too. It's just curiosity.
But before you even ask that, let me revert it back to our audience. Ndio pia watuambie maoni yao. Guys, tell us, do you think it's possible for being single and being happy, for them to coexist at the same time? Can you be single and happy at the same time? So you can ask your question, Tom, but then I also want to ask her, after you're done responding to that, how was the breakup after? How was it? Just dealing with the emotions, because as you've said, it was all consuming. You probably, your lives were integrated.
Very
you can't
much.
imagine yourself without them.
What?
But now you have to literally rip yourself off and then find yourself all over again. So
what is this thing that that first love did that the previous lovers in quotes did not do?
And that's why I know there's a difference, because I can't explain it.
yeah.
It's like with the other boys, I can be like, I like that. But with this one, I just couldn't explain it. They would do the bare minimum and it would be like the most amazing
Here's
thing.
the thing. I don't understand when you say I can't explain. Because now someone else is just giving it everything that they can. Who you
But you see,
atapiga
that's- the
simu,
problem
atatext,
is-
atume
So you
maua.
can choose who you have that intense chemistry with. Like,
then
you can
you
hear
see-
And
about
you know, also, let me just insert myself.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily about what someone does. It's about who they are. Because sometimes we try and make the effort of, let me do this because he'll see me. Like, especially for women. I'll go cook, clean, do whatever, just because he'll see I'm wifey material.
Yeah.
But there's someone who gets her nails done, doesn't do anything, spends her days at the spa, but he loves her because of who she is, but not necessarily because of what she does. So I think it's the counter for us as well. You might do everything, but...
No, I have so
just
many
don't-
questions at this
He's
point.
like, you are not.
I know. Don't worry. We'll try and explain this. But now take it back to the relationship ended because things weren't working out, and it ended, and it probably broke your heart so much because letting go of something that you want to work out is something that I don't think anyone just gets over so easily. So how did you get over that? How did you navigate back into finding yourself and getting back to being single and putting yourself out there all over again?
So those steps, you know, when they usually say like women we leave mentally before we leave physically. So there's just that point where you know, like, oh my God, like this actually will never be.
Yeah.
So you have to accept it, but you still have this intense feelings. But technically now you're no longer in the relationship because you're like, it's not going to work, but I have intense feelings. So there's the breakup before the actual breakup.
I'm telling you, we're shocking Tom. Tom is like, Girl.
And then now there's a breakup where it's like, now you guys have decided, like, we're no longer contacting each other, you know, whatever the perimeters you create for yourself. For me, it has to be complete. Like, there's no friendship. Like, how? Like, I care too much, right? So it was very consuming, and it was actually like a heart. You know that pain you feel in your heart, even like tearing you apart. So it took about 6 months for me to just accept that, you know what, this person won't be in my life, and it's okay. But I feel like the time that I spent while we were technically still together to just like kind of get all the disgust, like just experience all the badness until you're like, I can't take it. Because now there's times where you're trying to break away, but you still are very much attracted, and you're still like seeing there's a potential.
Yeah.
But then there's a get where you're like, So I just let the disgust grow
and then
to maximum capacity.
Like, no.
Then I couldn't see him the same. I'm like, this is not it. So the first couple months, it was more like I was on a mission to be like rock star, you know, like no feelings. I don't care. I'm gonna be out here. I'll taunt every man that I can. I'll hurt them. And then you do that for a month. They're like, wait, this actually is not going anywhere. So you decide, you know, I'll just sit down at home, you know, hang out with my friends. My girlfriends have been like one of the strongest things I've actually had after relationships. Is like having girlfriends who, especially who have seen you before, during and after, because they're able to tell you, you are a little different when you're with that man. And sometimes I wouldn't even be able to tell. I'm like, what do you mean? I feel like I'm myself. They're like, no, you're like a shell of yourself, you know. And I'm like, wow. So like girlfriends help me a lot overcoming like past relationships. I'll be like keep your girlfriends, like keep your friends in general. Constantly. This is for both genders. Like sometimes we get in relationships and we like literally forget everybody. You'll realize once you're left, it's like, wait, I actually needed friends.
Okay. And that's true. I love that you've given us that experience, because especially the stages of grief, let's call it that, you are in denial for a long period of time, even though you knew, even while you were in the relationship, that it's not going to work out. So it happens, but then you have to accept and realize, instead of doing what I'm doing to try and numb the feelings or whatever, let me face them. But we've had this common phrase of you have to get under someone to get over someone.
Where do you live?
I know, right? Tommy's acting brand new. Someone make kujapa PR.
God, you guys have taken this thing out of it's like, now someone was breaking hearts, just, you know, cause name.
Okay, no.
Jamani, let's navigate.
Okay. Let me also, to that, maybe, let me support her by saying, you see, when you hurt people. Because you don't recognize that you're inflicting pain. You're coming from a point of pain. So if everyone else is experiencing the same, you might inflict pain even more. And now let me ask it for you. Let me personify it, because
personify it, please.
Yeah, because normally there's this stereotype of guys, the first time they're out of a relationship, they don't really care. And then months later, that's when they feel that, oh my God, I've lost someone. So I wonder for you, now I don't even know how to bring up your first love or something. Let me ask for the first serious, proper relationship that you had as an adult, and you knew that this woman has everything that I'm looking for, but then it didn't work out for you. How did you get over that relationship? How did you accept that this hasn't worked out? And you just going back to yourself, finding yourself again, how did you navigate the breakup from that?
First things first, I did not accept anything. I had to, you know, can I say this one? I had to kill a few cousins. Like, hey, cousin yangu alipass, you know, come and see me. You know?
Oh no.
Niko hospitali, mazesiko vizuri. Babe, kuja udione. It's been months, but I'm not letting go, you know. Because you understand, out here it's not as you think. Because anasemanga, the grass is greener on the other side. Go to the other side, my friend. It's nothing. People are texting you when you're dating. Kuwa single, no one is texting you. No one wants you at this point. You get, so, I never accepted it. Took me like years to accept, because utasema it's over, let me just focus on other people, let me try and move on. But utakuja tu patana na post yake pale Instagram, thirst trap flani amepata pale, kuisha wewe. So and then you have a number kwa kichwa. It's like, I was just checking up, you good? Then you try to care. And then eventually una realize, well, ishasonga. So unakuwa tu forced to move on. Unanipata? Until the day uta replace iyo. Because it's really hard Finding someone, and then this person is tailored for you and your needs. So finding an exact match, not per se, it's like you're not replacing that person. You're looking for the feel, you're feeling alikuwa hiyo emptiness ameacha, inafaa ifiliwe. So bado brain yako imezoea ni yeye. So you need to find someone, accept this person with their flaws, start, the fights, nini. So unapata ni ngumu. So you never accept it fully until someone else tries to fill in. And so eventually with years, unajua ukishasahau, ishatoka kwa kichwa. And you're like, oh, I haven't talked to this person in a while. So yeah.
I like that because it takes, and I think
you just forget.
Genuine, honest.
Forget, and you're like, oh, I haven't talked to this person in like a year, 2, 3. Nimekuwa nikisonga, watu wengine wamekuja kwa maisha yangu. I've talked to many girls, I've broken a few hearts, I've been broken before as well. Unapata heartbreak ingine imekupata na ile ingine ikupona. So una focus na hii mpya. And then hivyo pole it just disappears.
That's a very honest response because kuna watu wenyewe for real, when you love them, you might even get married, but you still think about them.
100%.
Years
it
later,
happens. If you love someone like ile for sure, and that's especially first love. Yeah, you give everything. You've envisioned your life. Nakumbuka ile mlikuwa mnasema yana have like 3 kids, utakuwa na 2 boys, 2 girls.
Ushapanga familia.
We didn't talk about names.
Hey, Tebu, now I want us, let me take a very short break. But nikirudi, I want us to talk about hizo moments zenye unaweza drunk call mtu. Because there are moments when you sleep up. So let's take a very short break. But meanwhile, go on our platforms at Y254. Nimekuuliza, can you be single and happy at the same time? Tell me an experience. Tell me something that you've learned through your journey of being single or through your past relationships. Share your experiences through our platforms at Y254. We're going to read your comments once we get back. But for now, let's take a very short break. Stay tuned because we're coming back na bado tuko na chai. It's really hot in studio.